The tree that waited. There was once a tree who stood not in a forest, but in a quiet field at the edge of a small village. Alone, young, waiting. Every morning, the tree welcomed the sun before anyone else, and every evening, it watched shadows stretch across the earth, patiently. One day, the silence was broken by the cry of a newborn. A family had moved into the house nearby, and with them came a little boy, cradled in his mother's arms. From his very first breath, the tree stood tall, as if standing guard over something sacred. Seasons passed. The boy took his first steps on the grass, and his tiny hands reached for the rough bark of the tree. It didn't flinch. It never did. It only gave shade, and comfort, and presence. To the boy, it was just a tree. But it was there every day. When he scraped his knee, he limped and sat beside it. When he drew childish doodles in the dirt, its roots felt the lines. One spring morning, something magical happened. A fruit. The tree bore its very first fruit, and as if by fate, the boy was there to see it. His eyes lit up. He reached for it, and the tree let go. From that day, they were no longer just a boy and a tree. They were companions. Years passed like falling leaves. The boy, now with a backpack, would sit beneath the tree after school reading stories, daydreaming, sometimes talking to it. Not always with words, sometimes just with silence. And the tree listened. Storms came, winters passed, but both endured side by side, season after season. The roots grew deeper, so did the bond. But as time does to all things, the boy grew. His visits became shorter, then fewer, then none. The tree waited. It waited through lonely springs and silent autumns. Its leaves fell, but not its hope. And one day after many, many years, footsteps returned. But the boy was no longer a boy. He was a man now, stronger, busier, and somehow more distant. In his hand he carried an axe. He walked toward the tree, the one that had given him its first fruit, its shade, its silence. He looked up at its branches, old, worn, but still standing tall. He raised the axe. From a distance, his old father calls him to not cut the tree. Then, he saw something. His son, who is now 3 years old, is standing in front of the tree and talking to it. As he used to do in his childhood. He saw fallen leaves like golden memories at its roots. He remembered scraped knees, books, fruits, comfort. His hand trembled, and the axe fell from his grip. Something inside him broke, or maybe something finally healed. He knelt, not to cut, but to thank. He returns home with his axe. The next morning, he did something opposite and special. He took out his son in the yard and planted a sapling just beside the old tree. Then another, and another, all around the tree that had waited. The boy, now a man, stood and looked at the sky through the branches. For the first time in years, he didn't feel alone. The tree still waited, but now it smiled in its own way, surrounded by hope and future and roots just beginning. Because sometimes love doesn't speak, it waits. And when it's finally heard, it grows. After that day, Eli, the little boy who has now become old, never thought of cutting a tree. Instead, he was often seen planting new trees. This is the story of the tree that waited. If you liked the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more beautiful stories like this. Thank you for watching.